Alrighty, let's get hands-on with some code. I'm going to come over to colab.research.google.com. You may already have that bookmarked. And I'm going to start a new notebook. So we're going to do everything from scratch here. We'll let this load up. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Beautiful. And now I'm going to title this 01 PyTorch workflow, and I'm going to put the video ending on here so that you know that this notebook's from the video. Why is that? Because in the course resources, we have the original notebook here, which is what this video notebook's going to be based off. You can refer to this notebook as reference for what we're going to go through. It's got a lot of pictures and beautiful text annotations. We're going to be focused on the code in the videos. And then of course you've got the book version of the notebook as well, which is just a different formatted version of this exact same notebook. So I'm going to link both of these up here. So let's write in here, PyTorch workflow. And let's explore an example PyTorch end-to-end workflow. And then I'm going to put the resources. So ground truth notebook. We go here. And I'm also going to put the book version. Book version of notebook. And finally, ask a question, which will be where? At the discussions page. And then we'll go there. Beautiful. Let's turn this into Markdown. So let's get started. Let's just jump right in and start what we're covering. So this is the trend I want to start getting towards, is rather than spending a whole bunch of time going through keynotes and slides, I'd rather we just code together and then we explain different things as they need to be explained, because that's what you're going to be doing if you end up writing a lot of PyTorch, is you're going to be writing code and then looking things up as you go. So I'll get out of these extra tabs. I don't think we need them. Just these two will be the most important. So what we're covering, let's create a little dictionary so we can check this if we wanted to later on. So referring to our PyTorch workflows, at least the example one that we're going to go through, which is just here. So we're going to go through all 6 of these steps, maybe a little bit of each one, but just to see it going from this to this. That's what we're really focused on. And then we're going to go through the rest of the course, like really dig deep into all of these. So what we're covering, number 1 is data, preparing and loading. Number 2 is we're going to see how we can build a machine learning model in PyTorch or a deep learning model. And then we're going to see how we're going to fit our model to the data. So this is called training. So fit is another word. As I said, in machine learning, there's a lot of different names for similar things. Kind of confusing, but you'll pick it up with time. So we're going to, once we've trained a model, we're going to see how we can make predictions and evaluate those predictions. Evaluating a model, if you make predictions, it's often referred to as inference. I typically say making predictions, but inference is another very common term. And then we're going to look at how we can save and load a model. And then we're going to put it all together. So a little bit different from the visual version we have of the PyTorch workflow. So if we go back to here, I might zoom in a little. There we go. So we're going to focus on this one later on, improve through experimentation. We're just going to focus on the getting data ready, building a model, fitting the model, evaluating model, save and reload. So we'll see this one more like in depth later on, but I'll hint at different things that you can do for this while we're working through this workflow. And so let's put that in here. And then if we wanted to refer to this later, we can just go what we're covering. Oh, this is going to connect, of course. Beautiful. So we can refer to this later on if we wanted to. And we're going to start by import torch. We're going to get PyTorch ready to go, import NN. So I'll write a note here. NN, we haven't seen this one before, but we're going to see a fair few things that we haven't seen, but that's okay. We'll explain it as we go. So NN contains all of PyTorch's building blocks for neural networks. And how would we learn more about TorchNN? Well, if we just go torch.nn, here's how I'd learn about it, PyTorch documentation. Beautiful. Look at all these. These are the basic building blocks for graphs. Now, when you see the word graph, it's referring to a computational graph, which is, in the case of neural networks, let's look up a photo of a neural network. Images. This is a graph. So if you start from here, you're going to go towards the right. There's going to be many different pictures, so yeah, this is a good one. Input layer. You have a hidden layer 2, output layer. So Torch NN comprises of a whole bunch of different layers. So you can see layers, layers, layers. And each one of these, you can see input layer, hidden layer 1, hidden layer 2. So it's our job as data scientists and machine learning engineers to combine these Torch.NN building blocks to build things such as these. Now, it might not be exactly like this, but that's the beauty of PyTorch, is that you can combine these in almost any different way to build any kind of neural network you can imagine. And so let's keep going. That's Torch NN. We're going to get hands-on with it rather than just talk about it. And we're going to need matplotlib because what's our other motto? Our Data Explorer's motto is visualize, visualize, visualize. And let's check our PyTorch version. PyTorch version, torch.version. So this is just to show you, you'll need at least this version. So 1.10 plus CUDA 111. That means that we've got, CU stands for CUDA. That means we've got access to CUDA. We don't have a GPU on this runtime yet because we haven't gone to GPU. We might do that later. So if you have a version that's lower than this, say 1.8.0, you'll want PyTorch 1.10 at least. If you have a version higher than this, your code should still work. But that's about enough for this video. We've got our workflow ready to set up, our notebook, our video notebook. We've got the resources, we've got what we're covering, we've got our dependencies. Let's, in the next one, get started on 1, data, preparing and loading. I'll see you in the next video.